special presentation for you now. So please put your hands together and welcome to the stage from Sony, the VP of Worldwide Studios, Mr. Michael Denny.
Thanks, Johnny. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here at Eurogamer this year, particularly in the run-up to the launch of PlayStation Vita, as Johnny says, and hopefully give you a flavour of what the device is capable of ahead of you all getting your hands on it on the show floor later. So for Sony, this will be our 5th major PlayStation launch and our 2nd portable console launch. With PSP, we had great fun, great learnings and great success with 70 million units plus sold worldwide on PSP. And we believe with Vita, we have a true next-gen successor to PSP. It will offer genuinely new gameplay experiences, genuinely new innovative gameplay. Because of course at its core, PlayStation is all about the games. So let's quickly remind ourselves of why we think Vita will be a great gaming device. Dual analog sticks for the first time on a portable device, meaning no compromise to action-adventure games and shooting games. The multi-touch 5-inch OLED screen, going to look absolutely stunning, show off everybody's game and the power of the PlayStation Vita to the best effect. Six-axis motion sensing technology, again for a greater user experience and new inputs. The front and rear cameras allowing unique, seamless augmented reality experiences. But before we talk about the games in more detail, I'd firstly like to look quickly at the social connectivity aspects of the PlayStation Vita. Near is a feature that enables you to find out what your friends in the same area are playing right now or what they've played recently. Simply by sharing your game information, you can meet your friends and new players regardless of what games they're playing. Party enables you to enjoy voice chat or text chat with your friends, not only while you play online, but also when you're playing different games or using different applications. Live Area is another interactive portal that enables you to connect to your friends and the content that you care about. You can check the latest news and receive the latest gaming updates from your friends, and the constant interaction available via Live Area takes the social aspect of Vita to new levels. With PlayStation Vita Social Essentials, you can access your preferred social media. Whether you want to keep up to date with your friends on Facebook or Twitter, call them via Skype, or check into your favourite places on Foursquare. And for the series competitor, we also offer a trophy application that allows you to store and track all your trophies on both PlayStation 3 and on Vita. All of this functionality adds a social dimension to portable gaming, and the option of 3G offers a constantly connected experience. So let's take a quick look at some of this in action. So as I said earlier, at its core, PlayStation Vita is about the games. And PlayStation Vita's feature set will allow developers to take games to unique and unexpected places, and will create the richest and deepest gaming experiences available on any portable device. From classic PlayStation franchises, such as Wipeout, Uncharted, Little Big Planet and Resistance, to exciting new IPs, such as Reality Fighters, Little Deviants, Escape and Ruin. And for today, this presentation, we're going to show you 3 of these games, each taking advantage of PlayStation Vita's unique feature set in very different ways. First, Wipeout 2048. Wipeout has a long history delivering the very best in high-speed combat racing at PlayStation hardware launches. Set 37 years from now at the dawn of the sport, Wipeout 2048 is a graphical showcase demonstrating the processing power of Vita. So to take you through the game in more detail, I welcome to the stage Graham Ankers.
Hi everyone, thanks Michael. I'm Graham Ankers, I'm a game director at Studio Liverpool, and I'm here to take you through Wipeout 2048, which is our exclusive PlayStation Vita Wipeout. So I'm going to start with a high concept really, and what we've changed with this Wipeout. The first thing is we set it at the dawn of the sport, the clue's in the title, but it's 37 years from now. Previous Wipeouts have been hundreds of years out into the future, so this one's sort of, you know, almost like a reboot, right at day 1, season 1. So this has given us a new direction. So what does, say, like an East Coast American city look like in 40 years' time, and how do we build it? So we've kind of imagined it to be built in layers. So at the ground level, you have all this brownstone sort of architecture that you recognise at street level, and the higher up you go through the city, you get all these layers built on top, like layers of a cake, going all the way from contemporary architecture to the near future to this brave new far future world bolted on top. And that's how we imagine the city to be built. So you can see it there side by side, all built up in layers. And with Wipeout, it gives us some great opportunity for some gameplay. But first, let's take a look at a video showing you how this actually looks and feels. So you can play the video, please. So here you can see sort of some camera pans over the street level. This is taken direct from PlayStation Vita. You know, really pushing and showing the power of the device as well. But also this is architecture that you recognise, that you're familiar with at the base layer of the city. And now we're going to go up some of the ascents. Some of our races are up and over skyscrapers, right to the top, to this brave new world, this brave new vision. This is a track called Sol. It's a race all the way down a super skyscraper that's under construction. This is a great track as well. It has no sides or no barriers, so you've really got to watch where you're going. And it just, to show off really that whole city, the vision of it all being drawn beneath you, and showing really what we can do with the power of a portable device of Vita. So, not only is it giving us a brand new look and feel, but also that's given us some great new gameplay opportunities. So, being Wipeout, we can take these tracks all the way through the heart of the city and use all the elements as well. So, up and over skyscrapers, down the sides of buildings, all the way from ground level up to the heights of the city too. And one thing that we've noticed with the gameplay as well, we've made the tracks wider. And that's given us a lot more combative racing. So the AI is really jostling for position as you're shipping around the whole tracks, fighting, weapons going off with all the particles. Looks absolutely fantastic on the Vita device as well. It really shows the power. So for our Vita game, this is pretty much the biggest Wipeout that we've ever made. It's got 10 exclusive new tracks to PlayStation Vita, set all throughout the heart of this city in different architectural environments, even through areas like a central park as well. And we've also got 20 exclusive ships to the game. This is working off an XP system, so the more you play, the more XP you get, and you're going to unlock these ships. Some of them are going to be agility based or really maneuverable, all the way up to combat class, which is heavy weapons and takes more damage. And one of the really cool features is crossplay, so linking our platforms together. With the PlayStation Vita version of the game, we're going to allow you to go online into the same lobbies as HD players on the PS3 version of the game as well. So you're going to be able to go into the lobbies, kick off the game and go straight head-to-head online racing with PlayStation 3 owners, which is awesome. It can be up to 8 players, any number of PS3s versus any number of Vitas, 4v4, 6 versus 2. And if you've got a Vita as well, you'll be able to use all the kind of new control schemes such as rear touch to accelerate and tilt to steer, and play that against somebody playing on 6-axis on the PS3. So enough slides, and let's get into some gaming as well. This is Stuart Lovegrove. He's our technical director at Studio Liverpool, and he's going to take us through the game. So we're going to start off with a track called Empire Climb, which is a race up and over a skyscraper. I hope you can see it there. The Stuart's using the new control scheme that we've put in exclusively for PlayStation Vita, which is using the rear touch to accelerate so you can feather on and off the throttle. And he's also using the very powerful accelerometers in the device to steer. And this works really well with Wipeout because the ships hover slightly off the floor, so you get to really lean in and pick your corners as you're sort of hurtling around the city. And you also notice the section that he's on now is above that ground level of the city. Architecture that you're familiar with. He's using the front touch here to fire weapons as well, absorb weapons. And we're now about to go up one side of the skyscraper. He's now set all the way up to the top. And now he's going to boom, he's going to hit the top. You get this brand new, brave new architectural world of the city throughout below you. And then come screaming back down the other side into the heart of the city. Hopefully as well gives you an idea of how much we're pushing on the PlayStation Vita. We're drawing about 250,000 polygons per frame, which is pretty comparable to what we did on the PS3 versions as well. And a shader system with the same level of complexity. So, I'm going to show you another new track which we've done for the UK, first in the UK, which is called Salt. And this is going to be a race down a super skyscraper, so right up into the heights of the city itself. So, ready to go? Okay. So here you should see the sort of details that we can get to, the difference in the type of architecture. We'll start the race if you want to kick off there. So this is a feature using the front camera. And what it does is it takes your picture as you're about to start a race, and in a network game, that sends that picture to other players as well. So, when you cross the line and win the race, you can send your winning gesture to all your other friends in the game. So now we're using a more traditional control scheme with Wipeout, using the physical buttons of the device. You've got to really concentrate with this track as well, because there's no sides, you've got to land every jump. Hopefully you'll agree it looks, people will be coming up to us and saying, oh, it's better than what we've been doing on the PS3, which is a real compliment. Nice driving, nice trick. So yeah, the shader system as well, pretty comparable to what we do with PlayStation 3. And in nose cam it gives you that real roller coaster sensation as well. So I'm sure that looks nice and smooth on the big screen. You also see those ships there, jostling for position on the wider tracks as well. Okay there. There we go, flying there. Love the jump. Nice one. Okay. Thank you very much, Stu. That it looks great, and we've got these very 2 units that are going to be downstairs in the PlayStation Vita area. Love you to go and get some hands-on time. We think it absolutely rocks on PlayStation Vita. Come and be our friend on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And yes, we've also got our resident Pfizer test pilot from the Liverpool studio who's going to be giving out flyers on the Vita stand as well. So that's it for Wipeout 2048. I'll hand you back over to Michael. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Graham. Now I would like to change gears slightly and focus more on the touch capabilities of PlayStation Vita. Our play, create, share genre of games lend themselves perfectly to Vita's variety of user interfaces and social connectivity. Front and rear touch and the inbuilt cameras make creating within the game a creator's dream. And sharing on the go via Wi-Fi or 3G makes for instant gratification. Creating and sharing anytime and anywhere has never been so intuitive. So here to show you the latest on Little Big Planet is the exec producer, Pete Smith.
Hi there. So when we first heard about PlayStation Vita, we were really excited to think about what we could do bringing across the PlayStation 3 version of Little Big Planet with all of the cool features that it's got, such as all of the tools and the gadgets and the online play, and all the things which made Little Big Planet on PlayStation 3 such a compelling experience. However, it was only really when we got our hands on the dev kits that we saw the potential to do far more than just bring the game across directly. With the power of the Vita and all of the new inputs, we realised it was a fantastic opportunity to create a completely new game with completely new gameplay experiences. We also knew we could make the game much more accessible using the touch interface, which is something which we strive to do with every version of Little Big Planet. So we always talk about Little Big Planet in 3 sections: play, create and share. So play is obviously the most important aspect of any game. Today I'm going to show you a demo of our gameplay and show you how it has evolved from the PlayStation 3 version, and show you how the PlayStation Vita gives a fresh experience using all of the features of the device. So I'll just dive over and grab the game. Okay, so the first thing you'll see, this is a carnival level. I'm just going to use the multi-touch to open the curtains and introduce Sackboy. So on this level, you'll see everything which is this blue material is touchable material, and you could define that however you wanted in the levels that you build. So I'll just jump, grab the sponge, and open the door. Okay, in traditional Little Big Planet style, I'm now going to go into the whale's mouth, and in his belly you will find a piano. So this is I can play the piano, and if I play LBP, I'll open the door and let me through. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just open up Poppet, and Poppet is all touch driven, again making a nice simple interface, and I'll select the costume and I'll select Jack Sparrow. And we purposely chose that costume just to show that most of the costumes that you actually bought as DLC on PlayStation 3 will automatically come across to the PlayStation Vita version for free, which we think is a very cool feature. So I'll grab this wheel, jump across, and now you'll see here's some more of the touchable material, and I can just touch on that and use that to fire Sackboy up into the air. Okay, so now I've got a different challenge where I need to use the tilt. This guy's got grabbable feet. So one of the things what we weren't sure about when we started prototyping the game was, is it going to work to move your fingers from traditional buttons across the touch and back? And actually we found it's really intuitive to try to solve puzzles using all of the features. Using grab and touch at the same time. And I'll jump back onto this guy. Oops. So it's across. Okay, I'll use a bounce pad to jump up. I'll take a photograph of myself. So now I've got a nice, simple puzzle how to get up to the upper layer while I'll just touch this touchable material and bring it down. Like some bubbles on the way. Now this is a little bit more of a complex puzzle. I've got a door here which I need to get past. I've got a touchable material block and a switch up there, so what I'm going to do is bring the block down, jump on the block. That raises up, but if I jump off, that's going to come back down. So I'll move the block across to stop that, jump back down. Okay, now the next thing what we wanted to really take advantage of is rear touch. So here we've got a very simple example. You'll see if I touch around on the rear touch, it appears where my finger is, and I can just pull that out, I can push that back in. That shows just as I say, a really simple example of how we can use the rear touch for puzzles. So now this is something which is a little bit more complicated. So again, I've got some blocks which can be affected by rear touch. I can push them in and out, and I need to get Sackboy to the top of the screen. So I'll push out these blocks. across. That's one. Okay, now the screen. And now, in typical Little Big Planet fashion, I shall, my epic finale, fire Sackboy across the screen in a sardine can. Okay. So hopefully that gives you just a little flavour of the kind of traditional games, traditional levels, what we have in Little Big Planet. We also put in a lot of focus on mini games, and if you go and have a look at the demo on the show floor, we've got some mini games, and they're really, really suited to the device being portable and all of the features of LBP Vita, which you'll see when you get hands on. So next thing to talk about is Create. Our community are the lifeblood of Little Big Planet. We absolutely love them, and they always use the tools in novel ways to create amazing content that we just never imagined. We already have over 5 million levels on the PlayStation 3 version. And in the Vita version, we have all of the tools from the PlayStation 3 version, but we've also created some completely new tools to help creators build levels and mini games using the inputs of the PlayStation Vita, but also being able to make games more pick up and play and more suited for a portable device. We expect to have different type of levels on PlayStation Vita than we do on PlayStation 3, and we're trying to encourage that so you get a different experience. This movie now shows you how you can create it on the move. So the great thing about Little Big Planet Vita is that you can not only create on the move, but you can also share content on the move. You can upload and down levels on the go via Wi-Fi, but also via 3G. This, on top of all the community features which we share with the PlayStation 3 version, means that sharing has never been easier than it will be on PlayStation Vita. So I hope you see now why we're so excited about Little Big Planet on PlayStation Vita, and why we think that Little Big Planet and PlayStation Vita are a perfect match. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. And I think from that video, you could really see how Vita's feature set, in particular the inbuilt cameras, are really going to add some new dimensions to particularly creating on the go. And another significant use of the cameras will be to allow for seamless augmented reality experiences. Now, ever since the introduction of PlayStation 2 and the iToy camera, games like iToy Play, and then on PSP with Invisimals, more recently with PlayStation Move titles, whether it be iPet or Start the Party, we've been pushing the boundaries of augmented reality gaming, with many consumers embracing these immersive and exciting new experiences. But now, with PlayStation Vita, we have the opportunity, we believe, to push those boundaries even further. So now, I would like to introduce two new technologies that show off more of Vita's AR experience, together with one new AR-based launch title, Reality Fighters, a customizable fighting experience that utilizes the front and rear cameras to transform the real world into your gameplay world. So here to show us more of this, with a little help from Johnny and Ellie, is John McLaughlin.
Thanks, Michael. So I'd like to show you two new augmented reality technologies that were shown for the first time last week at Tokyo Game Show. First, we have wide area augmented reality, or WAR for short. Now, traditionally, AR games like Invisibles and iPads have only used single markers, but we can now add to that AR experience with WAR, which consists of up to 6 markers that the player can use to create a much larger gameplay environment. Or, depending on the game, we can introduce different markers to create new gameplay objects. This opens up exciting new possibilities for the types of games that we can create in augmented reality. Here you can see Wipeout, which is using a traditional single marker approach and looks very cool. But with the multiple markers, we've used a larger gameplay area here to create a game of mini tanks on the tabletop. And the player can create geometry around real life objects so you can interact with them in-game. And you can use markers on different planes so your character can jump off the coffee table down to the ground. And this is a great example of using the markers to manipulate a racetrack in real time, creating hills, bends and chicanes. And now your Invisibles can do much more than just battle. And you can create a very own dog show, using different markers to create new challenges for your virtual pet. And breakfasts may never be the same again, unless you like sausages. So our second AR technology is a true markerless solution. Using the Vita's processing power, we can create a markerless augmented reality by scanning in everyday objects that you'll find in your home or in the street. Play video, please. So here the Vita is recognising the natural feature points in the room and also the table and the ground in order to set our scene. Once we've scanned it in, we can bring our character in, our little ape. And now we've scanned the scene, we can view around the character in full 360 degrees, but without a marker. There's also an added benefit of being able to view the character from greater distances. So here on this outdoor scene, you can see lots of different apes at different distances from the camera. And this showcases the different levels of scale that we can achieve with a markerless augmented reality solution. And here's our famous PlayStation T-Rex. Let's hope he doesn't find any apes to eat. And also, by combining the gyros with our markerless AR technology, we can move away from the ground points, and it enables us to look up to see the T-Rex towering above us. So as you can see, with these exciting new technologies still in development, the Vita will be the platform of choice for augmented reality gaming. Which brings me on to Reality Fighters, the first AR game that's going to be available at European launch. Using the built-in cameras, we can scan and turn ourselves into fighting megastars and battle in the real world. So we've scanned in Johnny and Ellie in from Eurogamer. We'll give them a few hairstyles. Johnny looks pleased with that one. And now we can customise. Using front touch, I can make Johnny promoted. There we go. And now there's over 400 costume pieces enabling you to create anything you want, from full costumes to crazy mashups. You can wear a t-shirt and jeans or something more exotic like Soldier. We've settled on a little pink bunny outfit for Ellie and a robot for Johnny. And now we can pick our fight styles. You can choose between your traditional martial arts, or perhaps you might want to stand out from the crowd, be a disco dancer, a magician, maybe a superhero. Ellie's going to be a bunny, Johnny an awesome boxing robot. And once you've created your fighter, you can do much more than fight. You can have cool filters to change the look, and view them in the in-game menu or here in AR. Take photographs of yourself and your friends, and share them to your social network sites. And we support 2 AR technologies in the game. Single marker-based AR enables us to view the action from any angle at 60 frames a second. It's perfect for tabletop gameplay. But if you're gaming on the move, or you don't have the ability to place your marker down, you can use the gyros to place the fighters in the world at a much larger scale. But if you're gaming on the bus or the train, it might not always be easy to play with augmented reality. So we've got panoramic photo backdrops. We use the gyros in the Vita to look around in any direction and place the fighters in these stunning locations to battle. And the player will also have their own option to create their own backdrops, using the Vita camera, take your picture and share online with your friends. So now we're going to see a battle of Eurogamer. It's Johnny versus Ellie. Who's going to win? Let's fight. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Just another day at the office for Johnny and Ellie, eh? Okay. You know, I think that's about all we have time for today. So I hope the demos and the videos today have helped show you, I think, some of the power, versatility, and unique gameplay experiences you can all expect from PlayStation Vita. And just a reminder that we do have 10 Vita games out on the show floor over the next 4 days, so please enjoy the experience yourself.